to do with going up inside the gates. So this is starting to look very, very shaky. A bit like the price. $3.30 out to $4.40. Spank Appeal might be getting a spanking very shortly from the starter if he doesn't go into the gates this time around. And guess what? He has. He has now. They've got him in. Spank Appeal after all of that. He must have a quirky mind. Because he just didn't want to have anything to do with the gates. They were doing everything in their power to get him in there. They've gone past starting time as a result, but he's been shaky in the market. So if he can win from here under these circumstances, and he's sweated up really noticeably over there. I know it's a warm day, but he's got himself all hot and bothered. Strapping profits $1.95 out to $2.50, back to $2.40. They have had a go at Zippy Zaney, $4.60, $4.80 into $3.40. A good move there. Willie Pike's in the saddle. If he wins this, and if the records are right that we are reading in a fairly authoritative site, this will be his 3,500th winner and a half. If he can get home on this, and if that record is correct that is published. So we wait, and that's running at 20%, which is just staggering. Now, they are continuing to move them in, a bit behind time as a result of Spank Appeal's demeanour, which was far from being great. Hell of a Man goes in and now taken forward Zippy Zaney. It'll be followed up into the stalls by Battle Fleet, whose manners have been very good this afternoon. So Play Ball to come forward here, Dream Stock as well as Strapping Profit. For race 6, the Schweppes Handicap. So Strapping Profit, 245, 340 Zippy Zaney onto the second line, and 420 Spank Appeal. Top 3 in the market. Strapping Profit drawn right over toward the outside. Back this afternoon. Talented 4-year-old. In goes Dream Stock. They stand, they're set. Often racing, Geronimo Magic with a great start from the inside. Play Ball jumped away well. Strapping Profits going right back towards the tail. And flying to the lead now is Super Sunny, who's going to burn them all off by the 950. Super Sunny straight to the top from Hell of a Man. Geronimo Magic, the speed slowing. Up running fourth, Play Ball. A length and a half away then Zippy Zaney. Spank Appeal found itself stranded 3 deep. Around the outside, forced to cover extra territory. They're followed by Classic Royale. Strapping Profits going to follow Spank Appeal down the side. Dream Stock is further back in the field and back with it as well as Battle Fleet. They went past the 500-metre mark towards the turn. Super Sunny shows the way. It's Super Sunny about a neck clear from Hell of a Man. Over on the outside, Spank Appeal right off the course all the way. Geronimo Magic straightened up fourth. Back inside heels. Play Ball looking for a bit of room. Then Zippy Zaney being tested. Strapping Profit still a fair way back. They go to the 200. Spank Appeal hits the lead. It's Spank Appeal from Super Sunny. Spank Appeal in front, 3/4 Super Sunny. Then Zippy Zaney behind them from Hell of a Man. Strapping Profit, but this has been a phenomenal win. All things considered, too good for them. Spank Appeal. Spank Appeal beats Strapping Profit and Zippy Zaney. A popular trifecta it'll be. Hell of a Man behind those. Super Sunny, Geronimo Magic, followed by Classic Royale, Play Ball. It died on its run back there as well as Dream Stock, and amongst the last home is Battle Fleet. Well, he's got some talent. He's got raw ability. Spank Appeal, there's no doubt about that. That's his second win in 6, plays 3 times, but boy, doesn't he create some frustration. And he's done that the hard way. Everything that led up into the race suggested he could be in some bother, but not only that, he's tramped deep, no cover, and still got the job done. Plenty of appeal in that win. Brad Parnham aboard, brings up a double here this afternoon. And the market, well, it suggested not today. 3.30 out the gate to 4.40. But he delivers, and he delivers impressively. Tight for second and third. Only a bob of the heads there. It could be Zippy Zaney and nose. Strapping Profit, but it's a little hard to tell. They're right in the shadow of that finishing line. The winner is by Machino out of Miss Legacy. and trained by Dan Morton for Ian O'Connor, Mrs. J. O'Connor, Mrs. S. Benning, B. Benning, and JF and Mrs. L.M. Staddle, T. Martin, G. Martin, J. O'Byrne, G. Hodgson, Mrs. A. Martin, J. Marantelli, and also R. Huddy. And we wait for second and third. Number 7, Zippy Zaney gets the bob for second. Willie Pike for Takahide Ikanushi. And the returning strapping prophet third, Jason Whiting from the yard of Steph Bakranich. And a solid first up performance under the 60.5 over the 1,200 metres, and will but just be improved by that run. Fourth home, number 6, Super Sunny. The numbers are 3, 7, 1 and 6, but he comes back into the yard like a gentleman on this occasion, but he was far from that in everything that he was doing in the lead up to the race. As Brad comes back, and he deserved his fee. 1:12.75 the time, 35.24, a length and a quarter a nose with the margins to race 6. Race 7 at 7 after 5 over the 1,200 metres. No changes there, and that's a pretty good story that's unfolded with Spank Appeal after the running of race 6, Lock.
Thanks, Darren. Well, you don't see that too often, a horse in a mood pre-race, and he still gets the job done. But I'm now joined by winning trainer Dan Morton. Dan, describe your overarching emotion over the last 15 minutes or so, because at times it looked like he may haven't even been able to race.
Well, exactly that. I'll give you the last minute. That was just relief, but or two once he went in the barriers. But no, I appreciate everybody's help there. He's obviously a bit of a difficult animal, and said to Butch he's probably worth breaking in now.
Talk us through the process of this horse, and clearly he's still green, he's still raw, but has he been a handful over the last 12 months, or has this been something new that you're just learning about him in terms of his mannerisms?
Yeah, exactly that. He's been good. He had a whole prep, and then he just sort of started with the pre-race antics, which is fairly hard to curb, but he takes a bit of management, that's for sure.
Tough win today at this type of trip. Do you feel like, with the benefit of a little bit more time, typical of the Machino stock, he does stretch out over a little bit further?
Oh, I think he's a very effective sprinter. I don't think we need to, stretch that out too far. I think just if we can get the pre-race antics in line, then he's a serious horse.
Some horse, some win. Well done.
Thank you.
There's Dan Morton. He looks still a little bit confused himself, and clearly very, very relieved after the win of Spank Appeal. No denying his ability, and it would be great to get Brad Parnham's insight after what was a remarkable performance pre-race and during the race as well.
Well, exactly right, Lockie. You could see behind the barriers as soon as he started to play up when he was there as well, not let alone the mounting yard, that he started to really drift quite aggressively in late betting. But in the end, he was afforded no luck there from that draw either, and he was still too good for them. Bradley Parnham just having a good chat to Butchie O'Connor, and then I'm sure he'll join us, Lock, eventually.
Yes, absolutely. There's Brad Parnham catching up with winning owner in Butchie O'Connor. He'll be enjoying a nice cold beer up at the Mundaring a little later on tonight. But here's Brad catching up with Scotty.
Jacoby Street, it is, the Mundaring as well. I'm sure Bradley's been there plenty of times to frequent that pub. But Bradley, Spank Appeal, for a horse that does everything wrong, that wasn't a bad effort.
It was a good effort. He's a difficult horse to ride and get along with, really. Like, he doesn't want to come out into the yard. He doesn't want to load in the barriers. He does a few things wrong like that. But in the run, apart from missing the kick, which I could feel he was going to, he just wasn't standing right. His head wasn't in the game pre-race. But once he missed the kick and I landed where I landed,